Dan Illman, Mike Beer, first grade 1 in New York in 2017's the Carter Handicap, race number 9 at 7 furlongs. $400,000 is the purse. Let's take a look at this field. Mike Beer, Unified. Isn't Unified the horse to beat in here? Javier Castellano, Jimmy Jerkins. This is a horse that showed immense talent as a 3-year-old, including winning the Bayshore over this course and distance, triple-digit Beyer speed figure. Came back off the long layoff in the Gulfstream Sprint, and he took down a very talented horse in Mind Your Biscuits.
No, he did. It was nice to see him return with a good effort off of that layoff, because obviously he had a little issue after that poor performance in the Pegasus. As a starting off point, the Gulfstream Park Sprint, I will say, was fine. He didn't do anything special to me in that race. He got relatively loose on the lead in there. They couldn't keep up with him early. It felt to me like Mind Your Biscuits might have been prepping a little bit for Dubai. He didn't really come running until the very end of that race. Unified held him off at the end. I think he can go forward off that race, and if he goes forward off that race, it's going to be pretty tough to beat in here. It's not like anybody else has any upside in this field, but there's speed to his inside. I do think he's going to have to run better than that to beat this field. Not the strongest Carter in the world, but I'll agree with you. He's the horse to beat. I just sort of feel like I want to try and beat him.
But isn't a good trip coming? I mean, the horse directly to his inside is our old friend Green Grotto, the Jersey bred who's banked $860,000, was second in the Carter in 2015, and occasionally runs one lights-out race at a big price. But isn't he a great target for Unified to track?
Yeah, he is. I like Green Grotto a lot as a horse. I don't like him in these races, and I know that he won a grade 3 a couple of starts ago, but to me, overall, he's just not good enough to beat this field. And, you know, with a horse like Awesome Banner to his inside, who I gotta believe is showing speed in this race, and with Unified to his outside, I mean, how does he win?
Unified comes up from Gulfstream, one of the big marquee names in this race. The other one is from the Todd Pletcher barn. That's the number 2, Tommy Macho. This horse is a multiple graded stakes winner who's now cutting back after chasing a very fast horse in Sharp as Tech in the Gulfstream Park Handicap. He's moving from a grade 2 to a grade 1. Some might say class drop.
Yeah, maybe it is a class drop. You're probably right. He's not facing anybody as good as Sharp as Techie here. I don't know, Dan. What did you think of his last race? I didn't think that he ran that well. I know that he was chasing a horse who's just faster and probably better than him. I just didn't think that he ran that well, and I know that he got it done 2 starts back with a good figure in the Hell's Hope, but to me, I mean, he's got a lot of recent races that just aren't that good. I'm very skeptical of this horse at a short price.
I'm with you. He was winning me over when he won the Discovery back in 2015, and then he came back and he won the Hooper in 2016, then he went away. And he's come back now and he's run 4 times. And I know he had that big fig, but that's kind of a Todd and Gulfstream phenomenon, winning races like that in the House Open. I wasn't like really visually blown away by that performance. He's hard ridden on the turns and then he kicks it in again. I wonder where he is. Would I be surprised if he wins? No. He probably gets a good trip saving ground behind the pace. Yeah, he's going to be a short price.
Yeah, all those things that I agree with. I'm not going to be surprised at all if he wins. I just don't really want to bet him at a short price. The other thing is, I mean, how convinced are you that he really wants to sprint? I mean, a lot of times I love these horses that go from a 1-turn mile to 7/8, but I don't know if I love it for this horse.
Formulator fact for a big price horse who really would appreciate a wet track. That's the 5, King Kranz, for a good trainer, and Johnny Terranova. Past 3 years, older dirt sprinters, third off the layoff, 38%, $4.39 ROI. He's a rock-solid horse, but he really only has one fast race on his page, over a wet track in last year's Bayshore.
Yeah, where he was no match for Unified. I mean, I don't know. I agree. I love John Terranova. I think he does a great job. I don't even think a wet track can help this horse. To me, he's just not good enough.
Rui Rodriguez has 2 in here. He has Sasakaya, who is the beaten favorite in the Tom Fool last time out. Another horse making his 3rd start of the form cycle. I guess his race 2 starts back against Chief Lion was okay, although I have to admit, I was a little disappointed he didn't run him down. He did have to come off a long layoff.
Yeah, and that pace really wasn't there for him. Chief Lion got loose on the lead in there, but I agree with you. I mean, maybe he would have been better off running that horse down. But as a starting point, it was pretty good. I was disappointed as Tom Fool. He didn't really run that well in there. I thought he would run a lot better than that. We'll see if he can rebound to a better race. In some ways, and I think he's not impossible in here, in some ways I would rather, if I was going to bet one of them, I'd rather bet All Star Red. He's a little bit of an overachiever. He can get good trips in his races where it feels like Sasakai is just sort of a 1-run closer. I don't know if he's good enough to beat a field like this, but maybe he's a horse to fool around with underneath.
Boy, his fig from 2 starts back puts him in the mix in 99. Now, his short comment for the last race, is it as bad as it appears?
He stumbled very, very badly at the start of that race. Yeah, I mean, he really did lose all chance at the start of that race. His race 2 back, however, where he got the big fig, he got a great trip in that race and just wasn't quite good enough.
Awesome banner, I have to admit. I've never been a big fan of this horse, but I like that they're cutting him back in distance. The blinkers are coming on. He's solid. I don't think he's brilliant, but maybe he doesn't have to be brilliant in a race like this, and he'll be forward under Johnny V.
Yeah, once again, it's not the strongest Carter in the world, and I suspect they'll show speed with him in this race and try and get up towards the front of the race. I just, start going through his running lines one after another, especially since Stanley Gold lost him. I don't see it.
Let's take a look at our top selections. We're going to try to get some prices here in the Grade 1 Carter Handicap. Mike's going to go with the number 9, Ocean Knight, who was a rallying 4th last time out in the Grade 3 General George. That was a really good field. I think that Imperial Hint's an extremely talented horse, and we all know how hard-hitting the stall-walking dude is. A lot of folks thought that General George Day outside was the place to be. This horse came with an outside bid. But what are your opinions of Ocean Knight from a trip and a quality standpoint?
Yeah, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of his. I've never really liked him that much. On the other hand, I do think he ran pretty well in the General George last time. He just got outrun away from the gate a little bit and was way far out of it. And yeah, he was on the outside, which I guess is where you wanted to be, but I don't know if you had to be 4 or 5 wide around the track. And he made a little bit of a run into there. I thought he ran well, and I just sort of look at him and wonder, are they finally doing the right thing by this horse to try and make him a sprinter? I sort of get the feeling that he's going to be a better 6 and 7 furlong horse than he is 8 and 9 furlong horse. I just wanted a little bit of a price in this race. I'm not way against Unified. I just want to try and beat him. I'm going to give Ocean Knight one more chance to be a sprinter.
I'm going to use Ocean Knight in the multis with Unified, but maybe I'm going to the well once too often with the 6 Spartiatus. But I have noticed, ever since they've made an effort to get this horse closer to the pace, he's been really good. His win 2 back over the inner, 99 buyer. Last time out in the Tom Fool, he was pushing that pace inside. He was rated back when they ran away from him on the turn. Then he came again. That was a good effort. He's got to do it against tougher horses. But he's already beaten 4 of these horses from the Tom Fool again. Maybe he's an inner dirt wonder. I have a feeling that maybe he's just getting good. 10-1 on the morning line. I got to give him one more chance in the form he's in right now.
I can't argue with any of it, Dan. I think his last 2 races are clearly the best he's ever run, and I agree with you too that getting closer probably helped him. Now it might be a little different situation. They were Unified, they might go really fast in here, but in that scenario, it's good to know that this horse can close from off the pace. He has finished really well in his last 2 starts.
One more chance for Spartiatus for me. I went 6, 8, 9, and 4. Mike's going 9, 8, and 2 in the Grade 1 Carter Handicap. Race number 9 at the Big A on Saturday is an approximate post time of 5:15 Eastern. Good luck.